Welcome back to Stilettos and Sorcery. This is your girl, Alexandra.
And this is your queen, Kristyn. We have another birthday episode for you. This time it was my birthday.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
And I was really lucky this year. I got to spend it with my closest friends and my fiance. And this year I wanted to do something a little bit different for my birthday. In all the traveling that we've done, I realized we've never been to a national park before. So I was kind of looking up where to go. I was thinking Grand Canyon or maybe Yosemite, and somehow I stumbled across Zion National Park. And it was the right distance away. We only had a couple days to get this trip done in, so we landed on Zion. So I came across, maybe on social media, this company called Under Canvas, and it is luxury glam. So that's what we decided to stay in during our time at Zion National Park.
If you're gonna be an outdoors girl, Under Canvas is the way to go.
Definitely the way to go.
We had our own shower, we had our own toilet, perfect for me. And a bed. There were beds, cots.
When I say glamping, this is really glamping. It's kind of like, I think I would actually call it bamping. Like barely camping. We were barely camping.
Take it from a girl that doesn't camp, we were definitely camping. But with extras. I don't know what it's like to camp. I'm not too sure that I'm willing to find out because Under Canvas was so great. I don't think you can start off with caviar and then go to
It's true.
tilapia.
It's true.
Nothing wrong with tilapia.
I think this experience was the closest to actual camping that we will ever get.
That I will ever get.
So we flew into Las Vegas. We rented a car. We drove to the Under Canvas campsite. We went out on a really beautiful sunset drive.
Beautiful. The most beautiful scenery I've seen. And I live in LA. And we have very great scenery here, but it was just the colors. And when we first got there, it was like a dark rain cloud. Perfect photography opportunities there, guys.
It all cleared up. It was great.
So beautiful.
So Under Canvas had its own restaurant. It had its own fire pit. So at nighttime, we were there 2 nights. At nighttime, we would roast s'mores on the fire pit. It was pretty cold in October. We would hang out around the fireplace. We met some cool people.
Yeah. It was nice to wake up and open the tent and have this beautiful scenery that you're not used to at all. So I definitely enjoyed it. Unfortunately, you can't shower at night or in the morning because it's super cold, but you go on a hike and you come back midday, perfect. It's like 70 degrees because it's the desert. So we got our shower in.
And again, we went in October. I believe Under Canvas is open April through November, so closed during the winter. So it's probably a lot more comfortable if you go during the summer. Just remember it's the high season. We were there and the campsite was pretty busy, but it still felt really personal. And it still felt that our group kind of like had our own space and wasn't too disturbed, and we really got to connect with nature.
As much as you can, glamping. Yes.
As much as you can.
At night, though, because you're so high up, you are closer to the stars. Beautiful. Love. Favorite thing to do is gaze at stars at night. And if it's like you don't get that in LA.
The air was incredible. It was clean and fresh. So if you are looking to kind of get out of a city and reconnect or disconnect, maybe, I would highly suggest it. So the second day we woke up, and Zion National Park is really, really big. You could probably spend days, weeks there. People probably spend if you're really big outdoorsmen or women, or really big hikers. But we only had really 1 full day there. And the one thing that was on my list that I've seen other YouTube videos do, and I've done a lot of research online, were the Zion Narrows. Do you want to tell them what the Narrows are?
Well, let's start off with the story about how Alex tried to warn me for months in ahead, And the day that we get there, she's like, oh, the hike is 8 hours. 8 of them. 8. She tried to tell me. She tried to warn me. And I watched the videos. I did. I guess I wasn't paying attention that much. But you have to bring in snacks. And you have to eat. It's not for the faint-hearted. And it's not... All my LA people, it's not a Runyon. You're not going to go on an empty, fasted cardio hike.
Keep in mind this is a national park. But so the Zions are basically miles of slot canyon that a river runs through. And you are able to walk or hike through it. It's not really the elevation, I wouldn't say, changes as far as like going like a hilly hike. Yeah. It's more of, the challenge is more in walking on wet rocks and
through water.
That can sometimes
come up to be your mid-thigh.
Yeah, or even higher when it's the rainy season.
Yeah. PSA, it is dangerous when it's rainy season. They do advise you not go when it's like thunder, like storming.
So a few days before our trip, we rented some gear from, I believe it's called Zion Adventure Company. We'll also put the link below. And we rented the kind of fall package, which were dry pants, neoprene socks, and wet hiking boots. And you get a hiking stick, which I kind of laughed at, but in the end, we definitely
used
it.
It saved my life.
Yeah, it definitely was super useful. So we rented it the day before. I would definitely call a few days before you go to get it. And we did pack lunches, but we ended up not bringing them with us in the end, thinking that they'd be too heavy to carry, and we totally regretted that because it definitely lasted us maybe like 6 hours.
We did 6 hours. We didn't do the whole thing because it's pretty exhausting. There are parts where like you can't go past unless you have like a special permit, but we didn't get that far. It was a lot. But we did do 6 hours, and that's with breaks. And we did take protein bars and water, lots of water. But yeah, no, we didn't take but when we got back to the car,
we were totally starving. The hike, I wouldn't say is super hard. Obviously, you need to be in some kind of good physical condition to do it. You don't need to be an athlete, but it's really rocky. It can get dangerous at times. When you do rent your gear from Zion Adventure Company, they'll kind of go through a video to show you all the things to look out for and all of the tips and tricks to hike it. But I will say it was one of the most magnificent things that I've ever seen in my life. It's so big that you can't even describe it.
It was beautiful. I mean, even the pictures they don't do it justice. So you have to see it for yourself. Every time I took a picture, I just kept saying you have to see it for yourself. That was the main reason for a lot of our like breaks were that we just wanted to sit in awe. Like not even take pictures, just like this is something that nature created. It's beyond, it's amazing. We did see a lot of interesting things though. We saw older people doing it, so that means that anyone can do, like not anyone, but they weren't like they were like just regular people. They weren't like rock climbers that have been rock climbing for 100 years. You know what I'm saying? They just were regular people who were on a trip just like us. But you kick a lot of rocks, literally. You kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Yeah. They were in the Narrows when they invented that term.
Some other tips. Wear layers. When we went again, October, it was really, really cold in the morning. By the end of the day, we were sweating like pigs. The water is cold for maybe the first minute that you get in it. And then after that, because you're moving, it really does warm up.
Yeah, we were walking with our jackets tied. We had big puffy coats because LAians, you know. But yeah, we ended up shedding all of that.
We were definitely over-prepared, but I think it's better to be over-prepared than to be freezing your butt off in cold water in a slot canyon. It was just a really amazing experience. Yeah.
Loved it.
We're beautiful.
And then we had a birthday dinner at
Spotted Dog.
Spotted Dog.
Great seasonal local food. It's in the town Springdale, which is the little town right before you get into the national park. So there's a lot of good food options there. There's a little bit of shopping, some markets. I definitely would try to spend time there if you are in
We
town.
saw little gyms, markets, but we couldn't go because we didn't have time.
We ran out of time, but that just means we have to go back.
Absolutely. So on the day that we left, we packed up our stuff and we got in the car and we set off to Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
We were only in Vegas for the day, but we were really lucky. I got to have a really nice birthday dinner with my two favorite people, this lovely lady and my fiance. We went to Prime 80?
Scotch Prime 80.
Scotch Prime 80, which is a brand new restaurant that opened up in the Palms, and the food was fantastic. They totally spoiled us.
They took care of us, and they will take care of everyone that walks through the door. The chef came out and spoke to everyone, made his rounds. The drinks are amazing. They have a great whiskey cart. Clearly, this is my territory. I love food.
Definitely check it out while you're in Vegas. And that really wrapped up the trip. It was pretty short and sweet. Again, it was a really big milestone birthday, and I wanted to see something that was really inspiring, that would kind of bring me into this next chapter, and I absolutely loved it. I couldn't recommend it more. If you're on the West Coast, you have no excuses. You definitely have to go to the park. Park entrance fee was like $30 for a car, so it's super family friendly. Go with your girlfriends, go on a couples trip. It was absolutely amazing.
If anything that I've learned, I think the important message is that there's places in America to see. And while it's cheaper for us to travel here, I just think that it's important to tell people, like, it's important to see other countries, and we're glad everyone's doing it. But if you can't, don't stretch yourself. Like, there are amazing places in America that have awesome culture, and every place is different. From state to state, like, you barely get the same repetition. So I think I recently learned that, so I just wanted to share that with everybody. Also, traveling to other countries is great too when you have the means to do so.
Yeah, I think too, just who you go with makes such a huge difference. Traveling with people that have your same travel style, and just the memories that you create while you're on the trip are usually so much more important than anything that you can put on Instagram or anything that you can brag about or show off. It's really the memories that you create. And this trip, I was super proud of Kristyn for camping, because I know she didn't want to do it at first, but I also love that part about traveling, that you can push your limits and really find new things that you love and discover things about yourself and about where you live that you didn't know that you loved or were really amazing, or maybe really inspired you. And that's exactly what I wanted to accomplish with this trip. I'm so happy that I chose it. And I would definitely recommend it to anybody who's thinking about it in America or beyond.
All right, I think we wrapped up the birthday girls' birthday extravaganza. Maybe tell us some of your places that you've been, especially birthday trips. Drop it out in the comments. We want to know where you've been and what you've done, and what's the most amazing place in America that you've been. America.
We love hearing about off the beaten path, weird, strange places that maybe not a lot of people go, something that you discovered while exploring. Tell us anything.
Anything. We want like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. All the links to everything we talked about are below.
And if you like us, share us.
Follow us on Instagram.
Follow us.
Call us. Text us.
Don't.
AOL Instant Messenger us.
Shit, why you gotta go so far?
See you next time.